U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service logo appears. Vehicle crosses the Arkansas state line. Text on screen, Joe Krystofik, a lesson in perseverance. Video cuts to Joe sitting in his yard.
I am Joseph Krystofik. I'm retiring from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service as the state coordinator for the Partners for Fish and Wildlife program in Arkansas. Been with the Fish and Wildlife Service for 20 years. I basically got into conservation through experiences growing up as a child with my father going fishing, and I didn't really get to hunt with him, but he did take me on a couple of hunts. And he was always a conservationist, a sportsman, even though we grew up in the suburbs of New Jersey. He was from eastern Pennsylvania, and we would always go to visit family up there, and we would go out in the woods and shoot. And so that kind of got me going. When I was young, I had no intention to go to college and found myself in the Job Corps, and was learning to be a tradesman in carpentry. And I had an opportunity to go to college, and I thought, well, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to give something back. So I went into forestry, and while in forestry, I was in the wildlife option. That was the most attractive to me because it was not just production. And I got a job with the university following graduation, and I was in the lab with the wildlife folks. So they were doing turkey research, and I was able to go out with them on some of their research projects, and it just really grabbed me. Also, when I was in one of my wildlife classes, we went to Rockefeller Wildlife Refuge. And there was a guy out in the marsh with a headset on and antenna, and he was tracking ducks. And I thought, I want to do that. And I actually ended up doing that. For part of my thesis research, ended up at Rockefeller Refuge tracking ducks through the marsh. I would hope that people, if they look back, see my name, they say, wow, I really enjoyed working with Joe. He was a good guy. Man, we always had fun. Man, we laughed a lot, and he was a good partner. He helped us get things done. He helped us achieve our mission, and we had a good time while we were doing it. I think the thing I'm the most proud of is that I've been able to foster and develop partnerships with some entities that would not typically be strong partners for Fish and Wildlife Service. I was able to make a connection with the Arkansas Association of Conservation Districts, their program manager, Debbie Moreland. She had suspicions about the Fish and Wildlife Service, about the wildlife conservation community. And over time of going to meetings and sitting down for meals with her and talking about things, I think she came to the realization that the Fish and Wildlife Service is not the enemy, that we are all interested in conservation. We come at it from different ways. And there are places where we overlap, and where we can work together is where we can make a difference. And so we don't worry about where we have differences, but we work on the things where we can agree. And that, making those inroads with the agricultural community, I think has been very significant for conservation here in Arkansas. I think for people that are coming into the career now, coming out of college, I think you need to understand that what you learned in school and what your perception of working in the wildlife profession is not going to be what you're going to be doing. And you have to be open to doing things that you never thought you were ever going to do, things that maybe you may not want to do, but they're all part of the job. You're going to encounter obstacles, barriers to making progress, whether it's because of bureaucratic stuff or whether it's because of individual landowners or agencies or even other colleagues or staff. My suggestion is persevere. Perseverance is really important. If you give up, then you're not going to get anywhere. But if you persevere, you work through those roadblocks, then you'll accomplish great things. Don't look for the glory. Do the job. If you're looking at a performance plan and you're just checking things off in boxes, then you're not really going to get the fulfillment that you want. If you do those things, but you don't do it in a way that you're just trying to do the best job you can, then you will achieve those things and more. I think my biggest regret is that I wasn't able to get on with the Fish and Wildlife Service out of college, that it took a while to get on with the agency. I love Fish and Wildlife Service. I think it's a great organization to work for, a great agency. Looking back at my career, I have to say that I have just been, I don't use the term much, but I've been blessed. I've been very fortunate to have worked with so many great people, and I appreciate everybody that I've worked with that has helped me over the years to achieve what little bit of conservation successes I've had.
Text on Screen 2019 Regional Directors Award.
And I'll keep saying it. There are times in this job where I've said, I can't believe that they're paying me to do this. And there's not a lot of people that can actually say that about their jobs. So those are the types of things that have influenced me.
Text on Screen, a quote from Debbie Moreland, Arkansas Association of Conservation Districts. He changed my entire way of thinking about the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. I had never really had any dealings with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service personally, only heard scary stories. Joe changed my perception of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service completely, and I discovered friends can be found in all sorts of places. We will truly miss him. Text on Screen, Joe, thanks for all the fish. Japanese symbol for perseverance appears. Text on Screen, music, Front Porch Blues by Chris Hogan. End of video.